to my channel. This is part 1 of our 7-night Norwegian Fjords cruise on the Queen Mary 2. I'll be sharing a mix of video clips from on board and some insights about how we approach our trip. Embarkation day. We spent the night nearby and arrived at Southampton Cruise Terminal in the morning. Normally, we try to head to the beach and watch the ships sail away, but the Southampton Marathon was on, so we went to a nearby park instead. It was calm and gave us a place to sit just before we headed to the ship. Walking up to the gangway felt like a milestone. Once we were on board, we headed straight out on deck and watched our sail away from Southampton. We also saw the Ventura leave, which was a nice reminder of the first cruise ship we ever went on. We were pretty tired, so we kept it low-key. We had a quick dinner in the buffet and went to bed early. Our first full day was a sea day, and we spent the morning exploring the ship. We walked on the outside decks and even took the outside lift to get a feel for the layout. Wandering around helps you to discover the spaces that you might want to return to later. We skipped lunch, and later you'll see why. Workshop. Though it was such a small group, I didn't feel comfortable filming. Afterwards, I went to the Queen's room for afternoon tea, but John couldn't find me and he was wandering around the ship trying to locate me. And by the time he did, the afternoon tea was pretty much over. But the staff was so kind and still brought him sandwiches and cakes. After a little break, we got ready for the evening. We found a live jazz band playing in the chart room, which quickly became our favourite evening. Our first port stop was Stavanger. We started by getting off the ship and walking along the harbour. It was a calm way to get a feel for the area. Our way to the Petroleum Museum. It's very hands-on, with displays about oil rigs and the history of the industry. museum, we continued exploring on foot and came across a park with a massive pond in the middle. We walked around it, which eventually led us back to the harbour. And from there we went to a hill with a watchtower, which gave us a great view of the harbour. After taking some pictures, we made our way back towards the ship via the picturesque Old Town. Stavanger, I spent some time on the outside decks trying to get some nice shots of the town fading into the distance. Our second day was in Alesund, and we started the day with breakfast looking out over the port. It's always nice to take a few minutes before leaving the ship just to observe the town. After breakfast, we headed towards the hill for the Axla viewpoint. There are 418 steps. I took breaks along the way, which gave me time to rest and notice the changing perspectives as we went higher. At the top, the viewpoint gives a clear view of the town and the surrounding fjords. We continued up the hill a bit more, which was quieter and offered alternative views. Coming back down, we strolled through the town before heading back towards the ship for a little rest. We then went for afternoon tea again, but this time we managed to get there together. After the afternoon tea, we took another walk outside. It was very cold, so if you are heading to Norway at Easter time, be sure to bring your winter coat. Watching the land disappear from view is a perfect way to close a port. first few days, I've really enjoyed the mix of sea days and port days. And we're now halfway through our Norwegian Fjords cruise. And in part 2, I'll take you through my favourite port, Ålesund, rainy Bergen, and our final sea day, and then disembarkation. So thank you for joining me for today's video, and I hope you'll join me in the next one. Please comment, like and subscribe, all those good things down below, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye bye.